This presentation is of the psychobiology of stress. So first of all, we'll talk about what stress is. Mind.com defines stress as how we react when we feel under pressure or threatened. And it's any action that places physical and psychological demands on a person is known as a stressor. And stress is caused by the demands of the body, which require the individual to want to improve the situation. Now, this creates the fight and flight response, which is the physiological response to danger and threats, which provides a number of functions to either escape to either escape or fight the threat. This is triggered by the release of hormones into the body, which help the individual to promptly make a decision. Now, this can be perceived as eustress or de-stress, and the way the person receives a stressor or interprets a stressful event will depend on their experience with stress. A eustress is positive stress that can actually initiate feelings of motivation and increased performance, and de-stress is a negative type of stress which can become out of control for an individual, and it can become overpowering for them as well. So now I'm going to talk about how the body responds to stress. Now there's three ways. So there is the sympathetic adrenal medullary pathway, where stresses are perceived by the sympathetic nervous system, which activates the fight and flight responses. Now this releases any epinephrine and non-epinephrine hormones by the adrenal gland in the response to the stress. Now in 2000, Taylor et al. Found that this response was different in men and women because women have more oxytocin levels, which promotes relaxation. So this actually suggests that men and women may handle stress differently. They may react differently to stress. And there's the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal system, which directly influences the endocrine system to initiate stress responses. It involves the hypothalamic, the pituitary gland and the adrenal glands. The automatic nervous system triggers the hypothalamus to release corticotropic hormone, and then corticotropic releasing hormone stimulates the pituitary gland to secrete adrenocorticotropin hormone. Adrenocorticotropin hormone then causes the adrenal glands to release cortisol, which helps a person under significant stress. Let's just put the slide on. Research has prompted the HPA axis is a crucial role in dealing with stress. For example, those who have had to have their adrenal glands removed have had to be given hormonal supplements to deal effectively with stress. Other research suggests the HPA axis is a disadvantage to some when high levels of cortisol are consistently heightened, which can actually lead to illnesses such as Cushing's syndrome, which suggests that it's not always beneficial for the body because the body can adapt to stress, which isn't always a good thing. And there was the general adaptation system. This was developed by Hans Sale in 1936, who suggested the body goes through a stage process when in contact with stress. He subjected rats to various stresses, for example injury and cold weather, and he actually found the same general response occurred in the rats regardless of the stressor, and this happened within 48 hours. So his 3-stage process involves the alarm reaction stage, which involves emotional reactions when in contact with stressors, where physiological symptoms are created. The hypothalamus aids the sympathetic nervous system to activate the adrenal gland to release the hormones noradrenaline and adrenaline, which helps to bring on the fight and flight response.